You used to know someone who would do anything for you. They remembered the little things, your favorite order, the song you mentioned once, the way you liked your coffee. They checked in on you without being asked. They forgave things most people wouldn't. They made you feel like you mattered. And then one day, they stopped. No fight, no dramatic goodbye. They just became someone else. The warmth disappeared. The messages got shorter. The eyes that once lit up when they saw you went flat. And the hardest part? You couldn't even tell them what was wrong, because they'd just shrug and say, "I'm fine." This video is about those people. The ones who loved the hardest, gave the most, and then one day, without warning, turned cold. Not because they stopped caring, but because they cared too much, for too long, with too little in return. And if you've ever been that person, this might be the most important video you watch today. Every relationship you have, friendship, romantic, even with a coworker, runs on an invisible emotional account. Every kind word, every thoughtful gesture, every time you show up for someone, that's a deposit. And every time they dismiss you, take you for granted, or make you feel invisible, that's a withdrawal. Most people don't even know this account exists. But nice people, they feel every single transaction. The problem is nice people keep depositing. They keep giving, keep showing up, keep forgiving. And they tell themselves it's okay, because that's just who they are. But the account doesn't lie. When it hits zero, when they've given everything and received almost nothing, something inside them shifts. It's not anger, it's not resentment, it's something quieter and far more permanent. It's the moment they realize that their kindness was never valued. It was just expected. And that's when the shutdown begins. Psychologists call it compassion fatigue, a state where your capacity to care literally runs out. It was originally studied in nurses and therapists, people whose entire job is to give emotionally. But here's what most people don't realize. It happens in everyday relationships too. When a nice person gives without receiving, their brain doesn't just feel sad. It actually starts rewiring itself. The empathy circuits that once fired so easily begin to dull. The emotional centers that made them feel other people's pain start to quiet down. It's not a choice. It's a survival mechanism. Your brain is protecting you from a threat it has finally identified: your own kindness. Think about that for a moment. The very thing that made them beautiful. Their ability to feel deeply, to care genuinely, to love unconditionally, became the thing that was destroying them. And so the brain did what brains do. It built a wall, not to keep others out, but to keep what's left of them in. Emotional shutdown doesn't happen overnight. It moves through 3 distinct stages, and if you know what to look for, you can see it happening in real time. Stage 1 is the quiet protest. This is where the nice person starts dropping hints. They don't explode. That's not their style. Instead, they pull back just a little. They stop initiating plans. They respond instead of reaching out. They're still there, still kind, but there's a distance that wasn't there before. Most people miss this stage entirely, and that's exactly the problem. Stage 2 is the internal resignation. This is where the shift happens inside. They stop expecting things to change. They stop hoping that people will notice what they've been giving. There's a strange calm that settles in, Not peace, but surrender. They smile, they nod, they go through the motions. But if you looked into their eyes, really looked, you'd see that something behind them has gone quiet. Stage 3 is the wall, and once the wall goes up, it rarely comes down. This is where people say, "You've changed." And technically, they're right. But what they don't understand is, they didn't change because they wanted to. They changed because they had to. Because staying soft in a world that kept taking from them was no longer something they could survive. Here's what nobody talks about. When a nice person goes cold, they don't feel free. They feel guilty. Because everything inside them is screaming that this isn't who they are. They were raised to be kind, to put others first, to forgive and forget. And now they're doing the opposite. Setting boundaries, saying no, walking away from people who need them. And the world doesn't make it easier. People call them selfish. People say they've changed for the worse. People guilt-trip them into going back to the version of themselves that was slowly breaking. But here's what those people will never understand. The cold version of a nice person isn't cruelty. It's exhaustion, wearing a mask. It's someone who gave everything, trying to figure out how to exist with nothing left. The guilt is real, but so is the damage that caused it. The most painful truth about emotional shutdown is this: it's almost never reversible by the people who caused it. Once a nice person has closed their heart to you, you can't just apologize your way back in. You can't send a text saying, "I miss the old you," and expect the wall to come down. Because the wall isn't there because of one thing you did. It's there because of the 1,000 small things you didn't do. You didn't notice when they were struggling. You didn't appreciate when they showed up for you. You didn't ask how they were doing when they were always asking about you. And eventually, they stopped waiting for you to see them. They just left. Not physically, maybe, but emotionally, they were gone long before you noticed. The people they open up to next, if they open up at all, will be held to a different standard. Not a higher one, just a real one. One where kindness goes both ways. One where showing up is mutual. One where love isn't a one-person performance. If you recognized yourself in this video, if you're the person who went cold, or if you're watching someone you love disappear behind a wall, I want to leave you with this. Going cold doesn't mean you're broken. It means you finally learned what you should have been taught from the beginning. That your kindness is not unlimited. And it was never meant to be given to people who treat it like it is. The warmth isn't gone. It's just protected now. And the right people, the ones who earn it, who match it, who never make you question whether you matter. They'll feel it. Not because you owe it to them, but because, with them, it feels safe to be soft again. You didn't lose yourself. You just stopped losing yourself to everyone else. And that's not cold. That's the warmest thing you've ever done for yourself.